and
Yeah.
you just have to think to yourself how this character acts. And on that, when you before you meet Sandy Cohen and he sort of for a short time tests you out to see if you're capable in some way, and he sends out all the splices. That to me seemed like just something to run out the clock. Just he could have just let you in out of curiosity, but instead he, or better yet, the game forces you to fight for no real reason, and there's no emotional involvement. But almost the absolute identical thing happens after you've gotten one of the photos back.
Hmm.
Is that I can't really
I
remember
believe
why, but Sandy Cohen gets really angry
Hmm.
and he sort of yells and sends people after you.
He
And
accuses you
because
of...
there is emotional involvement in that,
Hmm?
hmm,
Oh, he
well,
accuses you of being a doubter. You know, screw you
oh
all,
yeah,
you doubters.
yeah, I'm not really sure what that means, but
Hmm.
anyway,
You know, he doesn't like
yeah.
people doubting his talent, I guess.
Well, with that, you haven't really done. You've done exactly what he said, and your character really did need to speak because you're getting told to do stuff, and the character that tells you to do stuff just assumes that you'll do it. You can't say something like, "No, I won't do this," and then
Hmm.
they'll say something like, "You will do it," or "I'll do this," which is probably the biggest flaw in the whole game is that you are told to do something and you have no real choice other than to do it. But
Yeah.
even if you had no choice to do it, I would still like sort of a dialogue box thing where I can say, "Okay, please don't hurt me," or like, "I won't do this," and they react in that way
Hmm.
instead of you just doing it because you feel like it.
Yeah. I actually didn't mind the goal-based gameplay of Bioshock. Um, you know how "Would you kindly" is a recurring phrase. You know, various characters utter
Mm.
"Would you kindly" in order to get you to do things for them. Once we learn that
Doesn't only Atlas say that?
Ryan also says that. He also uses the phrase "Would you kindly" to basically make you do whatever he says. You know, run. Would you kindly
Mm.
stop? Turn
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, once we learn that this phrase was basically programmed into your head to force you to do things against your will, um, I guess. Well, once again, I suppose I was never really bothered by the goal based gameplay, in that I had a firm idea of what I needed to do. Whereas there are some games in which you have no, well, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. You know, what I need to get or bring to where, and
Mm.
so on. But and I think the use
Mm.
of "Would you
We're not.
kindly." Hmm? Oh, I think though that
I go on. I'll go after.
yeah, I think that the use of "Would you kindly," um, I think it was an interesting spin on the goal placed gameplay, uh, in that you know you're going through the game consciously, but it's revealed that your character is being forced into it.
Mm. After I played the game once and I knew about the whole "would you kindly" thing, on the second playthrough, I noticed that in the plane when you pick up the present on it, it says something like "would you kindly not open the present" or
Mm-hmm.
something, which made me smirk. But
Yep.
on on that, you I might be kind of wrong about this, but you, the character, were sort of created in Rapture to come to Rapture to fight Ryan and make Fontaine the ruler of it. Is that right?
Yes,
More or less?
that's right.
All right. Uh, with that, you start off thinking that you're just a normal person who crashes a plane, and there are the flashbacks of your family, but you don't know, you have no previous backstory to this. You're just shown pictures of people that you assume are these kind of people. If I could just steal a Yahtzee quote, it's sort of like feeling sorry for a brick because all of her brick children don't call her after they left home.
Hmm.
But afterwards, when you're told that you were sort of constructed for a singular purpose, you go from not knowing anything to a plot twist that doesn't really work because you didn't really know anything about it beforehand. So you basically go from nothing to something which basically becomes the only thing. So more or less you go from nothing to nothing, if that makes any sense.
Not sure. Well, I guess if you're if what you think are your memories were actually were basically forged by uh, by Atlas or Fontaine, whatever, then no matter how much you believe them, you believe what you remember, you may not have much of a grasp of it. Say, yeah. So I guess the lack of a backstory, save for these, flashbacks every so often, it does actually make sense to me in hindsight. Say, someone with manufactured memories may not feel all that engaged with what he remembers. Say, there's a message you get at one point from Ryan. Ryan notices that Jack, your character, seems to like it in Rapture. So Jack at least has some possibly subconscious recognition of Rapture. So yeah,
yeah.
I guess that the lack of a backstory does work when you consider the fact that his memories aren't real. So there really is no backstory if your memories aren't real.
Well, for the plot twist to actually, well, for me anyway, for the plot twist to actually have some sort of impact on me, I need to know more about the character than just these sort of vague pictures that are sort of crawling in and out of your memories in amongst the Rapture memories. I also never really understood why Ryan, when he's talking to you over like the loudspeaker or something, why he doesn't just tell you what's going on, because with the would you kindly thing, he knows that, or at least I think he knows that Atlas is telling you what to do so he can get you to kill Ryan. So why doesn't Ryan just say he's doing this and he's going to try and make you kill me, even though when you think about it, it won't really work, but at least the character will know what's going on. And I'm not saying that's what have happened, because it would have made a pretty bad game. But when you get to Ryan and he's playing golf, why doesn't he just say Atlas is doing this instead of making you instead of Atlas telling you what to do and Ryan doing absolutely nothing? Also, I'm not going to jump topics. I'm just going to say that I liked Ryan's, when you met Ryan, I really liked that, but I'll probably mention that later on.
Yeah, I guess, well, if Ryan were to tell you outright that Atlas was controlling you, then you wouldn't really be able to do anything about it. Although it would have actually made for better drama. So you might well have gotten a dialogue between Ryan and Atlas, say, in which Atlas is trying to convince you that Ryan is lying. But I remember reading the description on a YouTube video. I believe it was actually just the recording of Andrew Ryan's death at your hands. And I think the description claimed that Ryan was basically teaching his son, Jack, to be a man and not a slave. You know, you know, a man chooses, a slave obeys. That's his mantra. I actually think that if that's the case, then I think that this, Ryan's last bow, his final moments, actually got it backward.